We want to check in with our sports director, Nick Carboni, because he is on the phone with us from training camp day 2. Hey, how's it going, Nick?
I'm great, Jane. How are you?
Oh, we're doing great here. And, your favorite Monday morning quarterback, Sturdivant, is also here.
I'm here, Carboni.
As well.
There he is. You wouldn't miss one of these for the world.
No, not at all. We got double Nicks here in the room. Okay, so day 1 is done. Any surprises?
Trying to think of one. Damani Richardson, the undrafted free agent safety that started 5 games last year. He's really trying to work his way into a starting role with this team. They signed Trayvon Merrick in the offseason as one of their starting safeties, but they basically let all their safeties last year walk, and everybody thought it was inevitable that they'd sign one of the bigger name free agent safeties this offseason, either before camp or right as camp started, and they just haven't done so yet. So Damani Richardson clearly seeing an opportunity there in front of him. He grabbed an interception of Bryce Young yesterday, probably one of the biggest plays of camp day 1. And it almost appears that the organization is giving him every opportunity they can to take those first team reps, to be involved as much as possible and to make as many plays as possible before they think about signing somebody else, because it could save them a whole lot of money.
I mean, that's what it's about, though, seeing who's going to step up during training camp and kind of break out, right?
Yeah, that it's all about opportunities for a lot of younger players, especially when you're kind of where the Panthers are right now. In their minds, they're in year 2 of this rebuild. They're on year 2 of that track. They didn't go out and make a lot of big splashy moves. They made what they called targeted moves, like practical, didn't spend a lot of money on any one player. So that leaves opportunities for younger players who are already here to step up into bigger and more defined roles. And right now, Richardson is showing what he can do, but it was just day 1, and there's a lot more of these, and there's 16 of them in pads that we haven't even gotten to yet. So they're going to have to see it there too, but they've already seen him on the field. He had a big interception of Baker Mayfield last year in a game, and I remember standing at his locker with him. He was clutching the ball, his first interception ball, and it was a great moment, but he basically said, I want a lot more of these.
You happy to hear that, Sturdivant?
I am happy to hear that. I
am. All right, Carboni, what changes, any coaching changes or the schemes have you noticed from year to year, defense, offense?
Well, that's kind of the nice thing about this season is for the first time in a handful of years, all the key principal people are back in their same spots. And that goes right down the middle of the organization, from general manager Dan Morgan to head coach Dave Canales to quarterback Bryce Young. And as bad as the defense was last year, they held on to Ejiro Evero, the defensive coordinator, who was a mainstay from the Frank Reich era here in Carolina, the short-lived Frank Reich era. So not only did they retain him with a new head coach, but then they kept him on after a historically bad defensive performance. So the schemes are largely going to be the same. That familiarity has already bred some confidence, I think, out here. But I think what you'll see change is the playbook open up a little more offensively. You've got the addition of Tetairoa McMillan, the first-round pick. You've still got last year's first-round pick, Xavier Legette. You had Chuba Hubbard go for 1,000 yards last year. They brought in another 1,000-yard rusher, Enrico Dowdle, from the Dallas Cowboys, and the offensive line was the biggest group that turned it around last year. They're all back, all 5 guys, at least here on July 23rd, right alongside each other again. And Dave Canales told us at the end of last year, and again a couple months ago in spring workouts, like the way Bryce played last year allowed him to do more in the offense, even at the end of last season. Now he's had a whole offseason to install new stuff for Bryce Young. And Dave Canales is one of those offensive coaches, and I think this is a smart way to do it. You call the plays and design the plays that your players are comfortable with and have success with. Dave Canales has told us before, it's his goal to call a play that his quarterback perks up when he hears it, because he knows he can run it and execute it well.
Yeah, building on that. Sturdivant?
Nick, congratulations. This is your 10th camp, 10 seasons.
Oh, yeah, congrats,
Congratulations, Nick.
That's good. He's got a big year.
I appreciate that, and I'm just hoping nobody is holding the record in that 10 years against me.
I do have a question. You mentioned Rico Dowdle. who they signed in the off seasons from the Cowboys. Realistically, the expectations for the running game, right? So they've been trying to figure it out. Miles Sanders was in the backfield for a couple of years. That didn't work out. Chuba's been the mainstay. How do they plan to balance, or is there a plan to balance Rico and Chuba?
I think you're going to see a lot of both of them, and I think you'll see a good mix of Etienne, the rookie they drafted out of Georgia. He's Travis Etienne's brother. From Clemson and now the Jacksonville Jaguars, Trevor Etienne. He brings a little bit of a different component than the two other guys do. Chuba Hubbard has worked on his pass-catching game. Rico Dowdle has a pass-catching game. And this is a team and an offense that wants to rely heavily on the run. Dave Canales has been saying it since he got here. Didn't always practice what he preached in year one. Could have had, some moments where he relied on the run a little more, but then you look at the context and they were behind a lot. Bryce Young was struggling, so didn't really maybe get to it as much as they wanted to. And we talk about this offensive line. The strength of every one of these offensive linemen is the run game. So I think you're going to see even more of a commitment to the run game this year. As much as Bryce Young improved last year, it's only going to hope, in their minds, open things up again for him. So, sorry, there's a lot of traffic going on back here. But yeah, I think you're going to see a heavy dose of both Dowdle and Hubbard, and mix in Etienne as well if they have their druthers, right? And that's only going to set Bryce Young up for better situations on second and third downs.
Can I point out something? Carboni's eating good over there at camp. I just want to. I saw cornbread.
How do you know that?
There's cornbread at camp?
I saw cornbread somewhere. Carboni, talk about what you're eating.
They are treating us right. There's healthy options. There's hot dogs too. There's all sorts of stuff. Just to take you inside a little bit. So I've been here for 10 years. When I first got here, down at Wofford, we ate in the Wofford cafeteria with the players and the coaches. Like, I was making a sandwich on my first day at camp, and I looked to my right, and who's making a sandwich? Cam Newton. So that's kind of how it used to be. That is definitely a little more old school. That was a rarity in the NFL at that point, and it's basically gone from the NFL at this point. But it is nice to feel taken care of and refreshed, because this is where we work all day. It's not just practice. We are here delivering reports for WCNC Charlotte and WCNC Plus through 6 o'clock. So it's needed and appreciated.
All right.
Nice.
You got to stay hydrated, Nick.
Eat more cornbread for me. I want some cornbread.
Now, does coffee count as hydration? Because I'm drinking plenty of that in these early mornings that I'm not used to.
That's opposite. That's opposite of
That's
hydration.
fine.
But
Fuel. Fuel is fuel.
In the machine,
You know what I mean?
right?
Yeah,
There's water in the machine.
All right. Everybody is healthy, though, as far as we know.
Yeah, you've got a few guys coming back from slight injuries. Kicker Matthew Wright, who's in a kicking competition when he gets back. I'm sorry, the new punter, Sam Martin. You've got DJ Wanham, the edge last year, still nursing something. He's on the practice field today, not doing a whole lot. Derek Brown is kind of acclimating, getting back to speed, but he has been cleared for all activities after a meniscus injury last year. And Bobby Brown, the new defensive tackle, and yes, that is his name. He's coming back from tweaked something in the offseason, but nothing that anybody thinks is serious. So we're a little slow to see all those defensive pieces that they added on the field at once. The big one, though, is veteran linebacker Josie Jewell, released on the eve of camp, as he's still experiencing concussion symptoms from late last season, which is scary. But obviously, if they released him, they really think, he may not be playing again anytime soon. And the important thing there is just taking care of the player and the player taking care of himself. So we'll see what happens with that. That's kind of the biggest loss to the defense in the last couple of days.
Oh, bummer.
One thing I've noticed, folks think Bryce is, and he is, like a quiet guy, but he gets a little chippy out there in practice.
Yeah, so yesterday at the beginning of practice, I saw that, it was like Bryce Young was just making some light throws to the side, Andy Dalton and the other quarterback, Jack Plummer. But then I look, and J.C. Horn, the Pro Bowl cornerback, and his fellow starting cornerback, Mike Jackson, were standing right there, and there's two big fields. Only the quarterbacks were on this field. The defense was supposed to be way far away. And so I asked J.C. after practice, like, were you doing what I think you were doing? Like, were you trying to get in their heads a little bit? He's like, absolutely. So are we going to roll that soundbite? Because it was good stuff.
Yeah. Yep. Here we go.
Yeah, competing. Again, they're great competitors. And right now, training camp is you know, we'll be a team on Sundays, but right now it's offense versus defense. So we're going back and forth to each other, just want to make each other better and make the team better.
Yeah, trying to get in the head a little bit. We was catching the ball, we was warming up, so they can get used to throwing it to us. So yeah, it was it was a fun little warm up.
So that
All right.
trash talk is actually a continuation of mini camp where they were going back and forth. And J.C. Horn told me in mini camp, like, yeah, that's a sign of progress for this franchise is to be that competitive out here on the practice field. So I thought that was very interesting, and both guys acknowledged it. And guess what? I got here today, 10 o'clock, quarterback's warming up. Guess who's standing right there? J.C. Horn. So
Awesome.
They're not backing down. It's going to be a fun battle between offense and defense, especially as we get into those hot days and padded practices.
All right, we look forward to a full second day of training camp and to hear from you and Danielle later on at 3:30. Nick, thanks for checking in with us here this morning.